me ask you something. Are you getting like a little twitch feeling in your arms, in your legs, just all over your body? I gotta think. The glow is taking over. Glow and Hollywood take over off the top rope, and it will be T.G.I.H. Wrestler, actress, she's all Hollywood. Hollywood. Jeanne Basone is live on Off the Top Rope Friday night, where she talks about her days in Glow Wrestling and much more. When you got Jeanne Basone on the ropes, it will be Hollywood sizzling.
The Ropes Media. Tyrod Nashbury. Yeah. Tyrod Nashbury. Yeah. Every chance you get to hear us, you clear us. It's the time on the radio. My opinion's my opinion. Every time you hear me now moving out, they're on the stereo.
What is up, everybody? Live Friday night, and as always, you know what's going down. It is Off the Top Rope Live. We are Hollywood swinging on this episode. I got to say, I got my genie in the bottle. I'm making a wish. My wish has come true. She is wrestler, actress, business owner. She is Hollywood. She is sizzling. She is all that. The lovely and talented Jeanne Basone. Jeanne, what is up in the house?
You are so awesome. Wow. I love all of your Hollywood swinging. You got some songs in there. That was pretty good. I like your rap. It's pretty cool. Well, I'm good, Tyrone. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about doing the show for a long time, and yeah. I've done my research, and I've seen what you've been doing. I mean, you're just awesome at what you do. I mean, being on the pilot of Glow back in the day, we would talk about that more in the show. But I want to ask you, you do so many things. I mean, autobiography. I mean, business owner. I mean, just life. How do you manage life, and do you get sleep? Because I'm like, man, she does a lot.
That is unbelievable. Because remember, we were texting each other. I'm like, I'm on a plane. I'm on my way to Cleveland. I'll do it when I get back. So yeah, I'm always on the go, and that's a cool thing. I always feel that keeps you young. You know what I mean? Staying active is really important. I go to before I saw you today, I made soap this morning already. I went and worked out at the gym. I laid out at the pool for a minute. I came back, put some notes together, took a shower. I'm going to go see Elvis in a little bit tonight, so I'm excited about that. Got to see Elvis. But, you know, they always say you can't stop. You got to keep going. And you know what? People will ask me, when are you going to stop wrestling? I will stop when my body tells me to. So I'm very fortunate and very lucky that I can still do what I do.
Well, you know, Jeanne, it's like I said, that's why I said on top of the show, you know, Jeanne in a bottle, because I really think there's only one, and that is you, because you keep on going. I mean, and like I said, laying out in the sun, working out, and like I said, you took time out of your schedule to be on Off the Top Rope. So everybody watching the show live, I'm honored. We're honored as well. And of course, people, I'm sure, ask you all the time, what is like your gym routine? Because you look fabulous. So what do you do to keep like grooving and sizzling and moving and grooving?
Stay active. That's one thing that you have to do. The exercise. See this right here, water.
Yeah.
That's real important. I don't drink a ton. Maybe if I'm out with some friends or I'm at a show, at a gig, I will have one very strong drink. And I mean, when I say strong, it's on the rocks. I have one and I can sip that all night long. So it's doing everything in moderation. You know, there's no reason to let yourself go. It's just, I'm vain. I will say it. I want to look good. And my parents, I'm really lucky because of my genes, mom and dad. Dad's 83 and mom is almost 80, and they look unbelievable. My mom doesn't. I'm really lucky. It's the gene thing. So, you know, there are other people who struggle with weight. I'm very fortunate. That's it. I'm just blessed.
like I said, and that's why it was just really cool because you said the word blessed, and that's why I was talking to you because I know you are blessed and having healthy parents. I mean, God
Yeah.
bless them. I mean, you still have them, and for
Yes.
all that you've done in wrestling, actress, like you are blessed, and I'm sure there has to be when you go to sleep at night. Do you ever have that pinch feeling like, damn, my life is good? Do you ever have that where you just like you're working out or just laying down and like, does that ever hit you like? Life's good.
Every once in a blue moon, it's, you know what, because we are our own critics. And I know when I'm getting it over here. I like to eat bad. I like Italian food a lot, but then there's times to crack the whip. But yeah, I did a photo shoot a couple of days ago, and I'm like, damn. I go, this photo looks great. There's no editing your waist smaller or any of that. That was just me. And again, you suck it in a little bit, stick it out, and make those curves. That's all what it's about. And you can say to yourself and pinch yourself and say, you know what? I deserve that because I work hard at it as well, because it's so easy not to do this. It's so easy not to go to the gym, but I make the gym part of my life pretty much every day. And when I don't go, I'm kind of bad on myself. I feel bad that I didn't go. So it's just a routine that I find time to do. And it's hard to do it on the road. That's real difficult. But when I am on the road, I'm usually wrestling. So there it is right there. I'm already doing my thing.
I'm saying preach, girl, preach on. But yeah, and that, and Jeannie, that's the thing too about being on the road, because it's like when you're on the road, do you write notes like I have to work out and do this or that, or your mind is just like adapted to it, like your mind just tells you, Jeannie, go do it.
Yeah. Or for things that are on the internet, like interviews or things that need to be due. Thank goodness for these, because I put my notes in there. Yeah. Pay this bill. This is due. Don't forget this. You got to make DVDs. Some people are still buying DVDs instead of doing the online downloadable stuff. And that's fine too. So I just like I said, thank goodness for this. And vitamins. Oh my gosh. And supplements. I watched something on TV that said, do you really need the supplements? I think you do. With COVID that we had, or we're still having, vitamin D3, vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, zinc. I have to do the chewies because the zinc doesn't like my stomach. It's horrible. So I got to do the chewy zincs. But yeah, I think for me, the supplements and what I'm doing, that's what's keeping me going. And at the end of the day, am I tired? Yes. So going to bed early, I think last night, actually I went to bed, for me, 11 p.m. is that's pushing it, because I get up so early. I'm up like at 5:30 in the morning. I have 2 kittens. Those cats are waking my ass up all the time. So I end up going to bed somewhere around like 11 p.m. I used to be a night owl. I'm not that much of a night owl anymore, but then I get more done. If I'm up at 5:30, I got all day long to do my shit. Make my soap.
Well,
book my flights.
And that's the thing too. It's like I really like how and it seems like with this world being so crazy, it's like we have to have that mentality that stay healthy, number one.
Yeah.
Take chances, because I've learned that life is not promised tomorrow, and like you said, be healthy, enjoy your life, and take chances, because today life it's crazy.
It's what matters today. You know what I mean? Or creating the things that's gonna, what you do today is gonna, depend on what your future is, going forward, what you do today. So you're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
He says that all the time. Is it Kevin Hart? Does he say you're gonna learn? Oh, I love his I'm going to comedy here.
Oh yeah.
He's got his rap where he says, you're going to learn today. I think he said that. Well, yeah, we're all going to learn today.
Well, people are going to learn here on Off the Top Rope Friday night that I know, Jeannie, you have so many fans. You want to gain, even more fans being on the show. What do you want people to know about you? I mean, because you're always doing new things. So what do you want fans to learn about you tonight when you leave Off the Top Rope tonight?
Well, for some people that are new, they have to know that Glow started in 1985, and it was awesome actually to be one of the Glow originals, because the Glow original is Spanish Red and Matilda the Hun and Vine and Americana and myself, we are the originals. You know, for example, I always say take Kiss, the band Kiss. It's Paul, Jeanne, Peter, and Ace. Those are the originals. Yes, others came. There's others that came, but those are the originals. And to be a Glow original, that is everything. And that started, we did a pilot in 85. We sold it to TV. There was 12 of us that did a pilot, not knowing exactly what we were getting into, because we didn't. And we sold the show and we got to do 4 seasons. So, you know, that's pretty cool. I'll be writing. Every day I work on my chapters for the autobiography. It got pushed back because of COVID. Then me being lazy. That's one thing that, you know, if you want to know something about me, it's real difficult to put pen and paper. And I don't do pen and paper. I'm usually talking into the phone or typing it. But that's one thing that I do not like to do. That's tough. Now, being creative, making my soap. I have a soap company, Hollywood Botanica. That's just a side gig. I'm not going to get rich from that. But one thing that's cool about that you guys should know is when you travel so much and you're on a plane and you're down and you're up and you're in an Uber and someone's picking you up and you're wrestling on top of it or signing autographs in conventions, you want downtime. And so the creation of making the soap, which is, I love, it's like baking a cake. So if you like to bake, that's my downtime. Putting some ingredients together, making something that's good for you. There you have it. So that's how I created Hollywood Botanica. And actually, I did that before the pandemic because I was just looking at some soap in 2018 and went, ooh, this bar is kind of cool. Ooh, it smells really nice. Oh, it's only made with this, and that. There's no preservatives in it. I'm going to try and do it. And it took me some time to figure it out, but I got my recipe down and I have been doing the soap hustle for about 3.5 years. It's pretty cool.
Now, Jeannie, when you started, you know, your soap, you know, for in the business, like I'm sure it takes, when you build a business, you have to like maybe poke hair, maybe pretty much the term, throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. Now, when you were doing soaps and just, you know, flirting with a couple of things, when did you know like you had soap and you were like, I may be on something here? When was that moment when you were like, oh yeah?
Well, the pandemic happened and everyone, remember, wash your hands, sanitizer, blah, blah, blah. So I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And I made it for myself. I made it for my family. I made it for some of my friends. And then I thought, well, why don't I just make a little website? But it was during that time.
It's beautiful. I saw it. I love it. I mean, well, like I said, I'll promote it later on in the show, but I saw the website. I was like, she got it hooked up.
Yeah, you know, and that's easy because I've had my website. I have JeanneBasone.com. I have HollywoodProductions.com. I have a lot of social media out there. I got my Twitter account, the Instagram and Facebook. I have a lot of accounts. I know that sounds, but we have to in this day because we are in a total different generation than I grew up in. There were no cell phones. There was no, you know, computers for us to play around on and you know, and the same as Glow. All we had was television. So that's all we had. We didn't even know really if how popular that our show was. We weren't getting a lot of the fan mail. I found bags of it when I went in and I got my paycheck. I said to the secretary, I'm like, Jackie, I go, what are all those bags of mail? Oh, that's the Glow fan mail. I go, what? I wanted to sling one of those over my back so bad and take it and give everybody their mail. I pulled a couple for everybody. But, you know, if we would have had computers this day and age, who knows about where Glow could have, would have, should have been back then, you know, but the power of television, boy, that was huge.
You are a part of history and nobody can take that away from you, even the hard work you put in. And I'm sure like you would know because you've been in the entertainment business for years. And do you think when it comes to a TV show, wrestling or non-wrestling, do you think it takes just to make a show a very huge success to just see what happens or already have it planned out? Because I think some people may say, oh, this show is going to be big and it'll blow up. Or do you think a lot of shows where the shows, like you said, you didn't know what you're walking into? Like, is there a difference there?
we had no idea what we were walking into. You can ask any of the ladies on, that first season. Or the 12 girls, the original girls that they hired. I think a lot of it is timing and luck in this business. You can practice 24. I know what, that is one thing too. I will say, putting in your time, and don't give 100%, give 110%. And I know that's what I did on that interview with Mondo. You don't just give 100, and that's kind of common sense. So unfortunately, I didn't have anyone to push me to tell me these things. So, I mean, there could have been a lot more things that I could have been doing. I watched, I saw Tom Cruise last night on Top Gun. And you know what? We watched Top Gun in 1986. I think me and Stephen Blatz went to the movies in Vegas, Stephen Blatz being our Glow writer. And look at him. He's 24 years old. We were 21 years old doing this show. Look where it went for him. Now, I don't know all of his background, but I'm just saying timing is everything, and putting in the work has a lot to do with it. So we're blessed again. Really, really blessed to have that show. And then when Glow Netflix came out, whoever thought that 35 years later, whatever year, that somebody would do a show about the Glow girls. That's just crazy. Kind of cool.
Well, like I said, I know you're blessed because we talked about it before we came on air. That chair you have in the background, that red and black, I love it. Like you got to plug that.
Yeah, that's you. I need a whole thing with black and red back here, or green screen. I could do that too.
Now, when I saw these two places you travel in between, because I did my research and looked, I was like, man, yeah, she is busy. You travel between, of course, California and of course, Nashville. Yes. Now, we talked about food is good, not healthy foods, and they bring us in. Now, if you look at what's the best food to get in Nashville and the best food to get in LA, because I'm a foodie, so if people want to know,
what you like. Now, Nashville doesn't have as many restaurants as California. So in California, you can get anything you want. Let's go back to Nashville. I moved here about 10 years ago, but I have a residency in California that I rent out. So I got my home still. But what's great here is hot chicken. Now, I'm sorry, anybody else that does hot chicken, I don't think it's going to be the same as Nashville hot chicken. There are only two places, Hattie B's and a Prince's Chicken. And I love Prince's Chicken. Oh, so good. So hot chicken is great. And of course, our barbecue is freaking awesome. We have quite a few, but those are the two that I would say for me, that's pretty badass here. Los Angeles, again, it depends on what you like, because there's a sushi restaurant in every corner and a Mexican restaurant. I don't think they do Mexican food here at all well. No. Actually, it's my mother who makes it so well, and Italian food. So it's hard when you have a mom who's a great cook, who has been, getting recipes from grandma and grandpa, different generations down. You cannot compete with Italian food and Mexican food when you have a mom who cooks well. So when I go home and visit, my mom's like, are you going to go out with Cheryl tonight? Which Lightning, one of my good friends. Are you going to go out with Lightning tonight, or do you want to eat with us? Eat with you. I want to, of course, with mom and dad. And plus, I get to see them and hang out with them. So that's always a plus. Food and mom and dad.
Now, like I said, when next time you talk to your mom, I don't know if they have like a Amazon Fly Express here to where I'm at, but if your mom cooks up a good, I love pasta. She cooks up a good pasta dish.
Anything.
Put a word in for me, because on my stomach, I'm like, it's all right.
Our meatballs have one ingredient that I don't know that anybody else puts in it. I'll put it in my book on the autobiography, but I'm not going to tell that secret yet. But it's the way to make the meatballs nice and soft. There's a way. Yeah. If I go to a restaurant and I'm having a hard time cutting into it like a coat, I'm like, this sucks.
Now, of course, the biggest thing tonight is that, like I said, I'm definitely proud of you for what you have accomplished. Autobiography. Now, what touched you where God said, you know, Jeannie, it's time to get an autobiography going? Like, when was that time you knew it was time to start putting the pen to the paper?
Well, that started a long, long time ago. After Glow ended, I started writing down notes. And I wrote down the notes. I go, because I'm going to come back to this one day and be ready for it. And it's a good thing I wrote those notes, because as we get older, and this is everybody, pretty much everybody, you know, we tend to forget, or we believe in our head that it was this way or it was that way. Because I will do conventions and I hear other ladies talking about certain things that might be correct or may not be correct. So I wrote down a lot of stuff back then, but it wasn't till really the pen and paper started 2007. Then again, I picked it up in 2013, but it's hard for me to write. It's pen to paper is hard. So when I finally decided, yes, I need someone to help me do this, that's when the whip was cracking the whip. Yeah. So the cool thing is, what I do is I take about 30 minutes to an hour almost every day. And what I have to do is I got to reread everything because I don't want to repeat it. But then I'm going to hire an editor for that. But I am a perfectionist, and I'm like, oh, there can't be. One of my book mentors, Bob, said to me, Jeannie, just write it. The rest of it will come. You don't have to do any of this or that or that. That's why you hire an editor. That's why you hire the people that you need to do this stuff. So an indexer or this or that. So I'm learning a lot in the book world. I just don't think I was ready before COVID, because even though I was writing it just today, oh my gosh, there's this. And music, you know, I'll be in the car and I listen to a lot of XM radio. So I like classic. When I hear something in the 70s of being a kid, I'm like, oh my God, I almost forgot about In the Wagon when I broke my arm, or the kid that was chasing me. You know, music will always bring back memory a lot, and it just triggers it. I'm like, I need to write this down. So I wasn't ready before COVID, because I've added so much more. I'm like, I need this. I have to have this. You know, it's a cool thing, even though I don't like to write, you know, but the memories are there, the talking into it. But I feel like that my life will be complete by talking about my growing up. And then, of course, all of it is Glow, because you and I would not be talking right now if there was no Glow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This wouldn't be happening at all. So there's a lot. There's the pilot and 4 seasons that were awesome to talk about, and the people that I met and the people that I wrestled, the places that I went. I would never have traveled that much. I mean, I traveled overseas after Glow. So it allowed me other avenues and venues. It opened up a whole other, you know, thing for me, which is pretty cool.
We know here on we're talking about just making memories in life, and we are making memories here on All the Top Rope Friday night, because my live guest tonight is, of course, she is the sensational from the 80s, old school. She's still a legend today. Jeanne Basone is my guest here on All the Top Rope. And if you want to comment, ask her a question, I'll be glad to show it on the air. So, like I said, you can let her know that you are thinking about her and everything she's accomplished in wrestling and entertainment. Now, Jeanne, of course, you've done TV shows, wrestling, and there could be a difference there, but where they're the same is you put your craft in to make, you know, everything a success. Now, when you look at yourself and you look at another actor who you worked with and the wrestler you've seen, what's one actor or actress that you've seen where you're like, damn, like they're good?
Well, that's a big question, because that could be a lot of people, but you know, I started watching TCM, which is Turner Classic Movies. And so those classic movies, they are classics. And I was watching something, Mr. Skiffington, with, I got her. I can't think of her name right now. That's terrible. Gosh, caught me off guard. It doesn't matter. All the actresses that I'm watching in the classic movies are awesome. And I love Alfred Hitchcock. I love learning about the movies. The interesting thing, so I can't really pick one person. I know you're asking me that to pick somebody, but I can't do that. But I learned a lot from people, same as today. But if we didn't, same as wrestling, if we didn't have, you know, the people way back in the day to learn from, copy from, we wouldn't, again, we wouldn't be, you know, who we are today. Bonnie and Clyde, that's one of my favorite movies as well. Then I go back to Raquel Welch and watch 1 Million BC. I mean, that's just like a B movie, but I love the acting, the fashion, the dialects, and then there's all about the directing. You know, just some great stuff. And for today, look at what The Rock has accomplished.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Look at him. He is a superstar.
Yeah, it's just like the thing about it is that I and you too as well, because The Rock, he, you know, left wrestling, went to Hollywood, and like I said, but you found success too after Glow. I mean, because you've done TV, so you followed the same thing as The Rock. I mean, I think it takes you and The Rock, it's very, you know, multi-talented people, and Autobiography. So I mean, you followed that road too, you know, Jeannie.
I followed it to an extent. I think there were some times when I was a little bit nervous about taking the leap farther. I don't know why. I hate that. Like I said, I wish I would have had someone pushing me. I didn't have older brothers and sisters, and my family was not into entertainment. So this is all on me. I would say, oh, I'd like to give out an Academy Award. I want to pose in Playboy. I want to do these things. And I did a few of those things. And by the way, the actress I was talking to you about was Betty Davis that I saw today. She's freaking awesome. There's Judy Garland and James Mason and all these great actors. Sorry, I'm going back again to the movies, but The Rock, oh my God, that's just like Tom Cruise. Watching Tom Cruise, I thought, what is Tom Cruise's first movie? I think it was 1981. I know that, and he's 1 year younger than myself, so I just couldn't believe all the blockbusters that kid. I mean, somebody had him. Somebody. I mean, that's what you have agents for, and stuff like that. And Matt Simber, our director, I had coffee with him last year at some point, and he said, I'm disappointed. I go, what are you disappointed in, Matt? He says, I'm really disappointed that some of you or one of you didn't go on to really do the acting. And I'm sitting there going, well, some of us sometimes need a push. Yeah, that's all I would have needed. I think the same with the girls. Who knows where they would have gone? But, you know, they pulled the show like that, and the next minute, everybody was gone. So,
well, you know, everybody, of course, they want to ask, you know, one of your seasons about Glow, and if I can get the little, here we go. They want to ask you, of course, what was your favorite, you know, season of Glow and favorite match from each season?
Ooh, that's a big question. Well, I always love my season, the first season, because we got away with so much. And anything, you know, back then I didn't think that my favorite matches were with Sally the Farmer's Daughter. But looking back, they were the best matches ever because they were real, because we went to the same high school together. We knew the same people. We both wanted to get in the ring and tear each other apart. That was real. That animosity was real between the both of us. So those were the best matches that you could ever saw. That's season 1 with Sally, and then Amy the Farmer's Daughter came in season 2. But anything with Mountain Fiji, bless her heart, she was such a great character in the ring, and I love working with her. And of course, Matilda the Hun, she just passed in January, yes, and as did Angel. And but anything that I did with Matilda was really big, and her, myself and Vine, we had a lot of laughs together, and we were her second. So there was a match called the Apartheid Match, and then there was one that was it was a USA against us, and we looked like we were Nazis. Now, we didn't have it was pretty close, but that's what I'm saying. Those first 2 seasons, we got away with everything. Once you got to season 3 and 4, it was a little different because it had to be tamed. You weren't going to have the Heavy Metal Sisters lighting a hula hoop on fire and having the Southern Belle jump in over the hoop. You know, there was just lots of things that obviously wouldn't go well today that we did get away with. And then of course I did the PSA commercials, which were great, you know, telling kids don't do this, don't drink and drive, no drugs. And so I think our show was pretty well rounded out. I think they did a good job with what Glow came to be.
People, it's a legacy where people still watch it. They can find, I mean, you can find anything today streaming or YouTube, and it was a hit for you guys.
Yes.
When did you think of people still watch today? Speaking of which, I saw this on your Twitter and you shared it. I thought this was really cool. And you guys did back in it was in June. You guys did, I call it a Taste of Twitch. You guys did a Glow watch along, and how was this turnout? I thought this was really cool.
What did we do, Ty? I'm sorry, cut out.
You guys did I got a clip here. You guys did it was a watch along with you.
With Sienna from NWA, with Allison K. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that because that Twitch that we did, it was different. We sat there and watched a show together. And Tyrone, we have to do that sometime. We could sit there and pick one of the matches, and they're not long. It might be 7 minutes, or we could cut it, but we could talk about it. And the watch along is very cool. And I hadn't done that before. So kudos to Allison for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely in for that. Like I said, I mean, if you ever want to do like a watch along for Glow, I'm definitely in, because I like, of course, I'm a wrestling fan first and foremost. But like I said, you set the date, I'll be there, and we can do a watch along.
Cool, that would be awesome.
Now, I came up with this clip because you've done so much, and like I call it a master of her craft, because you're a wrestler, actress, model, author, business owner, stunt woman. You do it all. But like when you look at each, if you can briefly just go through each, what have you think in the area you've developed best in? Because as a wrestler, you get better, actress, model, all these things.
Confident is what happens. The more you wrestle, the more confidence you have. And because us 12 who went in there did not have whatsoever any wrestling background, I had to figure out, what are we doing? Who's this character? How do you play a bad guy? What is acceptable? What's not? Do I cuss? Do I not? Am I allowed to cuss? And what can I wear? Who is Hollywood? Who's Hollywood invite? What we're picking pockets? What is that? What? Oh my gosh. And it was a process. And especially for me, not being on television ever. So now I have an audience.
Yeah.
And looking them straight in the eye in the beginning was very scary for me. But once I figured out who I was, it was so much easier. It was so wonderful to play a heel. Most of the girls who are good girls, baby faces, would have loved to play heels. And so I'm so glad that they let me play this character, Hollywood. I couldn't have played anybody else. And that's cool. One thing that they did is they were watching us while we were training, and they were going to put our personalities with that character. And they already had 12 characters that they wanted. They had Tina Ferrari and Ashley Cartier. They already had Hollywood and Vine characters. They had an Americana. They had a Spanish Red. They didn't have a farmer's daughter. I'm lying. But they put our personalities with those characters. And when he said, Jeannie, you're going to be Hollywood, I was like, oh, thank God. That's the one I want. You have no idea. I mean, it's so true, that when you can, that is the girl that you're going to vibe. That's the character you're going to be and vibe with. You're like, I got this down. I'm going to have different outfits. I'm going to crimp my hair. I'm going to have a star because I love stars. I'm going to, incorporate this and this music.
Now, of course, you've been in the wrestling game for a long time. I mean, the business, and we all know the business changes. I mean, from the 80s, 90s, to mid 2000s up until now. One word, how would you describe wrestling today in 2022?
Off the ropes.
Yeah.
They're stronger, I think. They look great. They're smart. Yeah, it's off the ropes for sure.
Now, Jeannie, I made this clip for you because when it came to Glow, I mean, you've had a lot of competition, and there's always a few people I'm gonna show you the clip. There's a few people that drive you crazy and make you want to pull your hair out. So I did this clip for you with the girl.
Oh, good.
So like they get no pass, of course, through Hollywood Boulevard. Now they five opponents in Glow who drove you nuts in the ring. I mean, when the show was going on, because there's always somebody, 5 people or maybe even 3 who just drive you nuts and make you want to pull your hair out.
You want me to tell you about it? Or are you going to show me? I'll tell you. It was Sally. Oh, Sally made me pull my hair out every time. I'm like, girl, you're not supposed to be doing this heel move. That's mine. What are you nuts? That is not what Sally, the farmer's daughter, should be doing. But that's what made her character so great anyway. And that's what made our matches so great. But she was definitely one that just drove me absolutely nuts. The rest of the girls, I didn't have any issues with any of them. Everybody did their job and they did it well. She did not. She did not follow the rules, and neither did I. When it came time for us to, we had curfew, do you think I wanted to be in bed by 12 when you're 23 years old? No. Or we're on the road. Oh, you're not supposed to have guys in your room. Oh, really? We're not supposed to have any dudes in our room? But I won't mention the names, but so-and-so and so-and-so always has guys in their rooms. What? I'm going to get fined because... there's great stories to be told. So many stories, and you guys can read those.
Now, the biggest reason why you said it too, the biggest reason why we're here tonight is, of course, Glow. And you, of course, what about Glow that made talent keep coming back? Because when something's good and juicy and people sizzle, about it, what made people want to keep coming back to Glow? Because it was a big deal. Y'all were hot.
That's sweet. See, we never really, I don't think all of us, that's one thing. I think it kept our egos down, not knowing, at least for me, not knowing if we were popular or not. But thank you for the compliment, because all the girls looked so good and they worked hard because they made sure that everybody went to the gym. I was really lucky because I'd already paid my dues in season 1 and 2. So season 3 and 4, I left. I could go home after the show on Saturday and not come back till Wednesday. So, but of course I was goofing off back in LA. I should have been doing other things, maybe writing more or acting or whatnot. So, but
now the biggest thing of all is that it's just so cool how you just, with this crazy pandemic, you took something and made it your passion, and which is, of course, I had to plug it now. Your business is just booming. And like I said, the business life can be sweet, of course. So as we move forward, what do you have? What can you expect from, like I said, your business that it's Hollywood style? So
yeah, I like Hollywood style. Well, if we're talking about soap, it's just a side gig. I love it. All I can say is for people getting into something, have plan B happening. I'm lucky I bought a house back in 2002, which is in California. We know how much real estate is in California. So save a little bit, spend a little bit. And right now, oh my gosh, everything is so sky high. I'm not digging it at all. Flights everywhere are expensive. Gas is expensive. But if you have a passion, go for it. Yeah. And don't be afraid, and if you have to ask questions, ask them. Yeah. Ask somebody that you admire. I didn't get that. You know what I mean? So it's a different generation today than it was, obviously, for us in the 80s. And what a great time to be alive, I have to say, because music.
Oh yeah, TV, movies. Oh yeah, it was.
I like the music. I don't know if there was that much in the 80s to watch, but there was Glow.
Oh, there was Glow. Like I said, you got your Glow on. We'll Glow back in the 80s, so that was the thing back in the day. So now, Jeannie, this next segment here on the show, you got to put your thinking cap on. So I try my best. I try to stump guests with this segment all the time.
I like that. Okay.
You ready for the next question?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Damn, Ty. That's good.
All right, let's go. The question is, you go let's say promoter style. Like I said, you try to do your first pay-per-view for wrestling. Now, pick 3 talented ladies from the Glow days, the 90s, or today. Now, who would they be, as you face them in a fatal 4-way match? Name of the event using Hollywood, the venue, what kind of match would it be, and pick your favorite actor who would be the special referee.
Okay, let's have Brad Pitt as everybody. We're gonna have Brad Pitt. What kind of a match would I want? I'm gonna get in trouble. I say the strip match, but it was fun. We had a million clothes on, and it would be fun to wrestle some of the ladies back in the day. To wrestle Sally again would be great. To have Vine back, to have Matilda back, that would be awesome. And we have to pick we got to pick the one girl that just left WWE. I'm sorry, I can't think of her name right now. I'm thinking of her name. I'm looking her up.
You got to look. Yeah. So
I have to do it. I have to cheat because she's so freaking awesome. She's the one that's got I love her. She reminds me of a little Hollywood. I love Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, yeah.
She's badass. I would have her as my tag team partner.
Yeah.
So tag team partner, Sasha Banks against Sally and Lightning. Let's say that. Matilda the Hun can be back there. She could be our manager. And Brad Pitt's going to be our referee. And I said it was a strip match, but we can make it a lumberjack match or something. Maybe a cage fight. Cage match.
Got to throw that in the Staples Center in LA.
Yeah. Sorry, at the Staples Center.
Yeah. Hey, I would be there. Like I said, well, before I go, I mean, you got to talk to your mom. She make me like a nice one of her cool cooked meals, and I head to the event or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. You got to stop by dad's first. We have to eat. I only have to eat a little bit because I can't wrestle on a full stomach. There's no way. No, we can't. No. So only half a meatball for me.
Now, of course, Jeannie, as we wrap up this, because like I said, the tagline tonight is TGIF, but it's TG, of course, ICE. Thank God it's Hollywood. And of course, you also as well, I want to talk to about, you have a John Crowther's upcoming book.
Oh,
and
John
Crowther.
Yes. Yeah. John Crowther did a bio. It's a wrestling comic. I love it. He did such a great job. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Carlos Tron, Kevin Laporte. Here's wrestling with Sally the Farmer's Daughter in there. They did a really good job. So thank you for this wrestling comic.
And also, we also talk about too is Lake Norman. That's a big North Carolina style. Yeah.
So Lake Norman is a kind of a take. It's a horror comedy type of movie. It's got this twist to it. It's kind of like what would Michael Myers and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre do on their day off. So I'll play a character in that. So we'll shoot that in North Carolina. And Michael Strider will be directing it. He's a friend of mine. I've known Michael for a very, very long time. Did I say Jason too? What would they do on their day off? Woohoo!
That's what I'm talking about. And of course, when the movie gets released, I'm sure you'll post it on social media.
I will. It's an indie movie, and I'm excited.
And of course, I'm gonna roll all this into one because, like I said, fans, they love you. So one fan asked you this last question, of course. And I'm gonna bring this up and as well because they wanted to ask is, of course, fan, thank you, Matthew, for the comment. Remember Glow, welcome back in the day. What does the future hold for the one, the only Hollywood Jeanne Basone?
The future holds?
Yeah.
Well, you'll see it in the autobiography. My autobiography is the thing that is on my bucket list. So I have to do that. But you never know because I haven't stopped doing what I'm doing. So it could be a secret, but I'll let you know because you guys know all my social media platforms. I'm sitting there saying what we're doing here and there. I have big things planned. Let's just put it that way, Tyrone. Big things planned.
Big Hollywood sizzling plans. And like I said, you have a lot of social media. And like I said, I want to put that out there for you, like I said, before we roll out. And of course, what is up next for you? Because like I said, you got your business for your soap. Jeanne, just let everybody know, what is up next for you?
Next for me is that movie. That movie is what I've got to study my lines for it. We have conventions coming up all the time. So just check with me on social media and yeah. Oh, also more things. I'm an ambassador for a CBD company as well. I forgot. There is the CBD, Ace's Joint Repair. There's just lots of things. You know what I mean? You know what? It's hard to put everything in 45 minutes, 30 minutes. But the big thing for me is getting that autobiography out. So I really can't wait to have that finished. That is a goal that has to be done and met. And I want it done by the end of the year. So I've got to work real hard on that. So if I'm not around, everybody, I'm working on the book.
She's working on the book. And like I said, when you work on the book, let me know and everybody know, because we can't wait to read it, because when it comes out, I'm going to buy it myself. And just let everybody know where you're at and when it's coming out, because, social media is going to be booming when, you do release your autobiography. And Jeanne, the last question, because I know you got a busy night tonight, rolling out Friday night style. From 1 to 10, would you ever come back on Off the Top Rope again?
Will I come back on? Are you kidding me? Yes, of course. Hello, the red and the black just gave it away.
The red and black attack tonight here.
And I'm going to wear black too when I see you next.
Yeah, definitely.
And it might be cooler. The sun is coming in, and it's about a 96-degree day today, so it is booming hot here. Let me tell you.
This episode of Off the Top Rope was booming hot with my live guest, one of the only She is from, like I said, the 80s sensation show, Glow. Jeanne Hollywood Basone was my guest tonight. And Jeanne, I want to say first and foremost, I'm proud of you.
Thank
God
you.
Bless you. God bless mom and dad. Most importantly, just stay healthy, be safe in this crazy world, and you're always welcome on Off the Top Rope again. And can't wait for autobiography.
All right, Tyrone, thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor to speak with you today and our fans. So you are awesome.
Like I said, you are definitely.
You give it 110%. That's what we were talking about earlier. That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, she gives it 100% all the time. The one, the only, my live guest tonight on the ropes. The one, the only, Jeanne Basone was my guest tonight. As I always say, love yourself, love God. God bless. All the Top Rope was out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. Jeanne, have a good one.
You too, honey. Thank you so much.
We're out of here, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great night.
Yep. Safe weekend. Bye-bye.
The Ropes Media. Tyrone Asbury. Yeah. Tyrone Asbury. Yeah. Every chance you get to hear us, you clear us. It's the time on the radio. My opinion. Every time you hear me now moving out, they're on the stereos. Every podcast live, you know the feeling. This is the time for me to speak. You know the healing. I'm telling the truth and everything I say in this moment. But my time, I guarantee there is no more opponents who really want to feel it. Every single night, we on doing this now. When you're turning on the mic, live recording, we on it. It's time to be great. It's everything